Hi, Garth.
Hello, Ed. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
We're in isolation here, fella. How's it going? Where are
Well,
you?
I'm in Wales. I've got a cup of tea.
Nice.
You know what the tea is?
Pai Mutan.
Pai Mutan all the way.
Pai Mutan.
And where are you?
I'm in Paris, as I have been. We're going to have one of those conversations which is sort of like for other people. So we're going to say things to each other that we both know. Do you know what I mean?
Just this once.
You know where I've been for the last 7 years. What are you saying?
All right. Let's not do that bit then. We'll take that for granted. How is
it's
Paris?
True, though. It's 7 years now. I can't believe it. Almost to the day since we moved out here.
Wow.
And right now I can hear the bells ringing, and we just had the applause. Every night everyone comes out of their windows and balconies and applauds for the medical teams that are, at the front line of dealing with the coronavirus. And it's quite heartwarming because, it's the classic story. None of us have ever said a word to each other in 7 years. But now we're all waving and chatting, and there is a sense of community and genuine sense of sort of support for these people that are dealing with it all. Yeah, it's
amazing, isn't it, that it is that thing in a time of crisis, how that human spirit just comes to the fore. And it is. I find because we've got being Britain, they do it once a week for the NHS.
Yeah, just once a week.
Just once a week.
Yeah, that's enough. Thanks. That's enough praise. But, don't want getting too cozy.
But 8 o'clock, and it'll be tonight, and it's such an emotional moment. And we're in the countryside, so that next house is about 200 yards, but we can't see them. But there's lots of clapping and there's lots of whooping, and these are the things that really matter a lot at the moment, right?
Yes, and there's been so many silver linings to this awful situation. No one's going to say, oh, it's just been a blast.
No.
But there have been positive things, and they're mainly people connecting, people making more of an effort than they would normally do, and all of that's quite heartwarming.
It is. But so how long now? Because there's obviously that, but how long have you been in lockdown in your apartment with the family?
I think it's 4 weeks now, and we've got another 4 weeks to go. Macron was on the telly the other night just saying, 4 more weeks, you lot. Hang in there.
It's good days and bad days, right?
Yeah, we have 4 sons, and we used to have 2 dogs. We still do have 2 dogs, but one of them's tiny, so he can just stay here. Yeah. Our big Labrador, we sent like an evacuee to go and stay in the countryside. You put a little thing around it and send her off.
Gas mask.
Because it was just unfair to keep her in an apartment for so long. And you can only go out for an hour, and you can't go more than 1 kilometre from your apartment. And work-wise, I haven't stopped, so I've just been carrying on with the normal work rhythms here in our flat. The kids have been doing all right, though. That's the main thing. If they're all right, that's 90% of my problems sorted.
I think that's the thing as a parent, isn't it? If your kids are doing all right, if the kids are good, you're fine.
Yes. Yeah, honestly, that's the biggest thing. Yeah. And they've been okay so far. They've done Zoom calls with varying levels of success. Some are just ludicrous.
Yeah,
it's like a fun fest, and some actually are really working. It's sort of working out despite how odd the whole thing is. Yeah.
What's it mean in terms of with the film? So your film is Sing 2's scheduled to come out at the end of the year.
It's all been put back now, and if you told me when I first signed on to do Sing 2, it was before I finished Sing 1. It was scheduled for release when I signed on for summer 2019.
Yeah.
Well, that's gone by. And here's it.
Where was that? Where was that film?
Mate,
well, summer. I was queuing up. I was the first one in the line. Where were you?
I know. I tried my best. The trouble is, these films are made. There's a giant studio just up the road from here. There's 1,000 people there. There's all these films in various stages of production, and it's like a moving conveyor belt. So when one production stalls, everything kind of stalls, and it's par for the course that something as odd as making a film should have these ups and downs, and all the films ahead of me were stacking up, and I was getting pushed back.
Hi, Asa.
I think that was your godson.
That's my godson.
Yeah. He obviously didn't get the memo.
Stay out.
Yeah, you stay out of the house. Yeah, and so mine kept getting delayed anyway. We've been going fine, but the others needed more time. And now, because of this delay in our production, and we don't really know how it's going to end. I mean, we're still kind of going with people have got computers at home now. We're starting to ramp up with people in different places. But now we'll be coming out Christmas 21.
Wow.
Yes. Wow is the word.
Wow.
I used a couple of other words as well. Yeah. But I mean, the good news is that we have to kind of stick to our schedule. So we've got to be finished this time next year. We'll be finished way ahead of the release. Fingers crossed. I mean, we really don't know what the effect of this virus is going to be.
No. And what's the vibe? I mean, what are you getting from Chris, who's it's Illumination, right? It's a production company.
Chris Maladandries. Yeah.
He's in LA. What's the vibe in LA? What are they saying? Because obviously we haven't been to a cinema for weeks, and cinemas are like live gigs, right? It's just not on the horizon at the moment.
Yeah, no one's running back to see anything right now. And who knows what the upshot will be in terms of the long-lasting effects of cinema. I haven't really had that kind of conversation with many people.
Here's a quick question for you. Sorry, whilst I remember, because my brain's like a sieve at the moment. If cinema, because what they're saying here, one of the government scientists, on the BBC said, that until they find a vaccine, social distancing will have to be implemented, which rules out, presumably, cinemas, unless we all sit like the everyman. The everyman, we can get two in each row, one on either sofa at either end. No, and the same thing for gigs. So have you had any conversations like, for instance, okay, so Christmas 2021, we can't go to cinemas. Say this thing rolls out. Would it be like, okay, we're going to do pay as you demand or something? Is anyone talking about that, or is that just too much?
No, no one's actually talking to me about that, because we've got so much distance between now and the release.
Right, yeah.
And the hope is that because we all grew up loving cinema, that beloved, church of ours will remain open, or will open again at some point between now and then. You know, when they brought in 3D and everyone had to wear those glasses, I remember thinking, no one's going to do that. And it absolutely, they did.
And they loved it. And also the other thing, I don't know if you remember, you're a bit younger than me, but in the 80s, they were worried that cinemas were going to be hit by videos.
Yeah, and of course, then the pirate video thing kicked off and everyone was like, it's the death of cinema. But did you ever watch those? I remember getting a pirate copy of a film. The guy who taped it had gone to the cinema, but he'd sat in the front row. So the whole thing was like keystone.
I saw a bootleg of Jurassic Park that had been filmed in a dodgy cinema in Dubai.
Yeah, because I've definitely seen pirate films where someone's got up and left halfway through.
Actually, I'd quite like to see one of those now.
I mean, if anything, definitely makes us all think like, okay, always with films, you've hopefully created something with a sense of urgency, with a sense of like, I must see that. Yeah. And that's not scale, that's just the thing that you're making. It could be a small film, it could be a big budget film, but there'd be a reason to get a babysitter or get out there and go and see a film. So hopefully that drive is going to be still there. And
oh my God, yeah. I mean, all these things like doing that, going to the cinema will be revalued again. I think, I don't think the gig, the whole thing, going out for a great meal, all those things, we'll really appreciate them.
I can only think of it in stages. Like the first thing is going to be like when I see my friends again, not just over a Zoom call, but like a big hug.
Yeah.
That's going to be huge. And it's going to be the same for the things that we loved, that we all didn't take for granted, but that were just part of our lives. When you finally do step out on stage, when all this is lifted, that's a big, wonderful moment, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I hope so.
Yeah. The three guys in like plastic suits.
Yeah, exactly. That would be good.
With their phones, live Instagram. Yeah, maybe Sing 2 will come out and there'll just be some people in paper outfits. Maybe Naomi Campbell, she's the only one that knows how to deal with this, fully papered up out there in the suits. Who knows? But at the moment, we're just trying to keep everything going. And the spirits are pretty good on the team. We're, everyone's in good spirits because the thing's going well, touch wood. So,
yeah, well done. Well done.